Have dragon taxis, and there's a scheme with dragon taxis that you can do. So if you don't have any money to get home and you've got your student ID, you can ring up dragon taxi and say, can I get a student taxi with my ID? Then the day after, you go into the finances office on the third floor of the students' union and pay them back. So basically the uni are providing any way to get you home safely. There's also a student walk scheme where other students will walk you home if that's not possible as well. So you got loads of ways of getting home if like you've gone a bit too far with your night out, or you're a bit lost on your own, you don't want to walk home on your own. There's all the options. But I think one of the most exciting parts of the volunteering, you knew what was coming.
Yeah, I know what's coming. It's why I end up going every year. I'm so excited to get down there later on.
So they have puppy power. You get to pet some puppies.
Yeah,
I mean,
incredible.
What could be better?
I mean, there are usually a huge queue, like a really long line.
Well, actually, if you get there soon, so watching this, I'd say get down there now. Like, you just stream us onto your phone as you're walking. Don't even sit at home anymore. Get down there, because the fair only started at 10:30, so that's the start time of all the fairs this week. And
obviously it's still freshers, so a lot of people won't be awake yet.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are one of the ones that is awake, you just get down there now and you'll be at the front of the queue for those puppies.
Oh, and they are so cute, and they're just obviously they're just all looking for a home, which is really
so they're
sweet.
from Cardiff
so they
Dogs
love the
Home.
attention.
Yeah, so obviously that's another way to help the community, but is definitely helping us. And I know that we brought in some of the dogs from Cardiff Dogs Home for our mental health days, where we do fun days, and there's the bouncy castle as well. So there's loads provided for you and the community, all as a combination, which is like what volunteering is all about, really. And I think if you feel a bit lost moving to Cardiff from your hometown, it's a really good way to actually get involved in the city as well.
And I think if you have dogs at home and you're obviously like missing your dogs, because I have dogs at home and I do really miss them, it's quite nice because as you're with the volunteering scheme, you're volunteering to go and walk them and kind of just help out with the whole thing. So it's really nice.
Yeah, so then also on mental health stuff, they have the Pave the Way buddies, which are down there today as well. And that's just like giving you more support. You can get student mentors, which is one-to-one support. So there's tons of stuff for mental health, and then community stuff as well.
The buddy scheme, it's really to use your word, it's really chill. Like you can just go there, you can meet everybody. You know, you don't have to just sit down and chat. You don't have to book an appointment or anything. It's just just get to meet people, talk about how you're feeling, and then if you want to take it further and come up with a buddy, then that's totally up to you. But it's just so you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah, so don't sit at home and think, oh my gosh, I'm here, what am I doing? Like, watch us, come talk to us if you want, get involved.
We're always here.
Or go down to the fair, get involved with them, or you can go to Student Advice, who are down there today as well, aren't they? And they'll be here on Wednesday for an interview. There's loads going on.
And we have the Nightline.
Exactly, Nightline is here. There's tons of officers. Like, no matter what, you shouldn't feel like you're on your own at Cardiff Uni.
There will always be somebody to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And then another thing that's really great about Cardiff volunteering is that there's help for the homeless, and like that is so important. And now what I noticed when I moved to Cardiff was that there were so many homeless people in Cardiff, and I thought, is this really bad? And then my mum looked into it and actually found out that the reason there's so many homeless people in Cardiff is because the scheme that the government provide for them is a lot better than in other places, so they come to Cardiff to try and get onto the same scheme, because then they'll get help faster. So what Cardiff's help for the uni run from Cardiff Volunteering, the help for the homeless scheme, they go every Wednesday to provide clothes and food and things like that for the homeless people.
And there's actually online, there's like a online fundraiser, I can't remember what this is called now, but where you can donate money, and there are these women going around as part of Hope for Homeless, and they're kind of just trying to raise money. So if you can Google that and just have a look at it, it's all for a good cause.
And sometimes in the SU we get those buckets and they'll be advertised and you can put stuff in. I think something people don't really discuss as well, which I always like to think of, is things like sanitary towels or nappies, because it sounds a bit like, don't really want to buy that. Yeah, but it is really important. Like, imagine like living without having those things. Like it is something you really need. Yeah, definitely.
You need that.
So there's a lot that needs providing for the homeless people, and obviously what we really want is that they're not on the streets anymore. but like most of the homeless around Cardiff are all right, really. I've had a chat with a few of them sometimes when I might have been on a night out, sometimes in the daytime, but they're all right. And yeah, like I think the best thing is that to remember that they are part of our community as well, which is what Cardiff Volunteering do. Yeah. It helps the students, it helps the people on the streets, it helps the other community people, it helps disabled, the dogs. We got everyone involved in Cardiff Volunteering. Yeah. All the help over here.
I'm trying to, just like the Oasis. So the Oasis scheme helps asylum seekers and refugees. So basically the volunteers kind of run like a daycare centre for children of refugees and asylum seekers, so that they have the time then to go out and get jobs and go to community centres and meet different people, and just there are just so many different ways to help within uni and the community that I really do think it's such a great kind of fair in general, has so much to offer.
Definitely. So another part of the volunteering we have, so we've talked a lot about mental health. There is an event that was on last year, and I assume will be on this year, that was run by Literature Society, called Words Above the Waves, and that was an open mic night for
run by the Literature
run by Literature Society, for people who write their own stuff or want to express stuff that's going on in your head and you feel that you need to talk about, and that is linked to, we believe, don't take that as 100%, but like we believe that it's connected to Heads Above the Waves, which is a charity or an organisation that's non-profit, that
so they have a
works
shop
from
in
Cardiff.
The High Street, I think it is.
And they basically, Heads Above the Waves help with sort of students and young people who are struggling with self-harm or depression. So once again, Cardiff is coming up helping you guys with everything that need to.
And they have some really cool clothes, like the designs on the merchandise, they all have a meaning behind them. And there are loads of different ways that you can help volunteer, or just buying merchandise. Like I'm pretty sure, so it's non-profit, so all the proceeds kind of go to that charity.
Right, so later on this show as well, we're going to have the SU president being interviewed, so you want to make sure you tune in for that, because she will obviously be amazing, and she's the person that you really want to see come on. So that's Holly. She will hopefully be here soon, so I think we're going to run our Words Above the Waves video clip and see what you think of that, and hopefully you'll get involved.
First up, we've got Millie Goadby. I got a little story. It's also gay and angsty, which is a bit of a flashback. It's called Longing. So here we go. Carmen watches the tear trace a path down Jenny's skin, leaving a wavy black line that mars the flush of her cheek. Her face began to crumble, a delicate mosaic chipping where her lips chapped and the bitten-off skin bled. There sat on her bed in the middle of a room that might have been ransacked for valuables, the wardrobe to the right and the drawers to the left both bursting with piles of clothes that meet in a cocktail of soft fabrics and deep dark colours on the floor. The desk in the centre is overflowing. Lipsticks, perfumes and pills toppled over the edge. Shoes and handbags are thrown in the general direction of wicker baskets that would never have contained them all anyway. The first time that Carmen entered Jenny's haven, she had felt like Lucy falling into frost-bitten Narnia. She'd expected the luxury, scented candles that cost more than her clothes, a large leather jewellery box filled with things never meant to be touched by her sullied hands. But the used dishes piled on the windowsill were a crack in her crystal ball. How did immaculate Jenny emerge from this mayhem? What other secrets lay beneath her Armani foundation? For a second, she felt nauseous. Then she noticed the roses in a crystal vase, and they were the exact scarlet of the wine Jenny had spilt on her beautiful white silk dress. The dress was ruined, but all Jenny had done was laugh, and that laugh had spiraled out like the curls of the hurricanes she scribbled on tables. Jenny had turned to her, arms wide open, shiny black hair spilling over slim shoulders. "So what do you think?" "It's perfect," Carmen replied. Now Carmen finishes tentatively applying the final plaster to Jenny's wrist and slowly bends down to give it a gentle kiss. For a moment, she feels a hot pulse flutter against her parted lips. For a moment, she smells vanilla perfume. Then Jenny pulls her arms away and giggles softly, like she always does. Wait, I'm not done. I'm just putting my drink down. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Carmen wonders how differently she would have weighted the kiss if it had been from his lips. The boy who's been offered the most valuable creation in the world for free and chooses some factory-produced flower print. I'm so sorry for dragging you into my mess again. I just couldn't stand it, seeing her, seeing them together. I wanted to grab her, scream in her face, tell her everything he's done, but I couldn't. Then I tried to talk to him and, Carmen, it was awful. Carmen's breath falters when Jenny places her pale hand on Carmen's forearm, the way she does so casually, the way she does with everyone, just to play a little game. Just to watch time slow in their eyes while they examine her chipped red varnish and bitten down nails, her artful storm. Jenny can draw wonderful pictures, but she will always be her own greatest work. That boy prefers a toddler's scrawl, and it's ripping Jenny apart. I just had to get out of there, says Jenny, retracting her delicate grasp. I didn't know you'd follow, honestly. You should have stayed and enjoyed the party. Don't worry so much. Carmen had tried to stay after she realised Jenny was gone. She'd managed 20 minutes. It took 10 more for her to reach Jenny's front door and press down hard on the bell. She appeared with streams running down her face and wrists. Once, a pretty girl in a bar had asked Carmen what she would do if she had one day left before going blind. She'd confidently responded that she'd empty her bank account and finally go to Paris. She'd spend all day in the Musée d'Orsay with her sketchbook, surrounded by the impressionists she adored. She'd see Bernard's La Loge, the solitary print hung in their tiny council flat in front of the sofa where she sat silently beside her sobbing mum, the bruised and broken woman telling her, I was always so good at art in school. They all said it. Your dad said he'd take me to Paris? Yeah, lying bastard. Said my eyes were so lovely they deserved to see it. Don't be dumb, Car. Promise you won't be stupid like Mummy. Jenny's parents have an apartment in Paris, and Carmen now knows that she would use her last 24 hours of sight to memorise the exact grave of her beautiful eyes. She will always follow.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
We're back. We realised that we had a few audio issues at the start because we had a few problems with my exec members. So that leads me on to I'm actually looking for a few more exec members. So if you want to be a part of CUTV, we're looking for people for head of drama, head of entertainment and head of Welsh. So I'm starting a brand new Welsh section, which also leads me on to the brand new Gaia Reeve, which is really exciting. So student media is another part of student volunteering.
Basically. And there are so many different ones. So we've got obviously CUTV, not that we're biased. There's Gary, there's Express Radio, there's Quench.
And that is all of us.
I think that's all of it.
Yeah, but Film Society had asked if they could move a computer into our office as well. So they might be, although they're not student media, they're a society, we might have
new territory.
We might have some collusion between the two of us.
Who gets the office?
Indeed.
Yeah.
So basically, Gaia Reeve's issue has only come out today.
Yeah, the new one.
Which is super exciting because in this office it's sort of open plan between Quench, Gaia Reeve and CUTV and then expresses through the other side. So like all the stresses we have of sorting stuff out goes between all of us. So it'll be like, oh, my issue's due, oh, my video's due.
And Express, aren't they doing their volunteers fair?
Yeah, all of us are at Volunteers Fair today, and Express have gone live today for freshers, so they're doing shows through the SU, so you can listen to them, or you can go to Express Radio online. And if you want to tweet any of us with your opinions, things you want us to say on air, some stories that you might have from freshers that are really cool, or anything else, then excuse me, sorry to interrupt this. It's their music playing too loud. Could you just go and turn it down in the production studio, please? I think.
Just trying to a few more technical
in production from Express. I think it's playing too loud. Sorry, guys.
See, office problems again and again.
Yeah, see, open plan, they thought that was a good idea. They thought we were being modern, but no. It just causes issues. Basically, we need a proper studio. No. I mean, I do love all of student media. I feel like I might end up having to...
In talking about that, if the audio went off, have we explained about your hair?
No, we have not. So I do apologise for my hair. I do look like a nutcase. It looked a bit more tight. I thought it looked slightly better before, but I had to put on my CUTV t-shirt to come on air, which you would all have to do if you do a CUTV project. Yeah. But having put this on, I got stuck. So Amisha helped me get my rollers out of my t-shirt. But
it was a two-man job.
Yeah, it really was a two-man job. So I would recommend, like, if you have something you have to do the whole day like I do, just maybe rollers aren't the look you want to go for. However, saying that, we are going to a Great Gatsby party tonight.
So excited.
I will look great then, and it will be worth it. So me looking like a nutcase right now is completely fine. I feel a little bit like, what's the name of the Irish guy that dresses as a woman on
Mrs. Brown's Boys.
That's the one. I do feel a lot like Mrs. Brown right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but
it'll be fine. But yeah, if you do want to tweet us and let us know how everything's going, or talk about Liz's hair.
Yeah, let us know. So we're at CUTV. No, we're not. That's a lie. We're at Cardiff Union TV. I just lied about our own thing. Hopefully we'll get our website up and running sometime soon. We've had quite a few technical issues with that because of handover from the last year, which is why we're not streaming out to that at the moment. But you can take a look at old projects on there, and soon I will have that fixed. Other than that, go to our YouTube page, which is Cardiff Union TV. Tweet us at Cardiff Union TV. Look at us on Instagram at Cardiff Union TV. Or you can add us on Snapchat, which is CUTV Snaps, just to add in a little bit of a different... Yeah, we do have a Snaps, although... I do believe we're having some technical issues with our Snapchat as well. I mean, there are many technical issues.
What happens in freshers. Everybody's trying to start.
I think, we have dissertation deadlines in this week, don't we? So, I mean, our course has been a bit of a, rude word. Yeah, because they've given us work over the summer, but that is what third year is, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, you freshers, you don't even worry about that right now. You just enjoy your life. You nap in the middle of the day. You go out. You do you. I miss those days.
But if you do feel like volunteering or getting
if you actually want to do something
of the media, I mean,
then please do that.
Things. Guy Reith and Quench are our magazine's ones. I mean,
this cover of Quench, their oldest issue. Guess who is the cover girl? Yes, I told you I don't look crazy when I take these out. So there's all the interesting bits.
Of both of them.
Yeah, and I think Quench have started a fashion section this year, or built up their fashion section, because I've noticed them on Instagram a lot more, and you can tag Quench Fashion in your Instagram posts and try and get them to repost you, which is really, really cool.
And I mean, both magazines offer different things, don't they? They're so kind of diverse in their own way. Both of them are great to write for. So if you do have anything, or you kind of pop up online and you see that they're writing about anything that interests you, just send any of them a message, and I'm sure they'd be happy to hear your ideas.
Yeah, definitely. So let's have a little browse through Guy Reith.
Can we just comment on the cover?
A super cool cover. Although I'm not going to lie, I do feel like Quench's cover is better because I'm on it. Soz, but if you just paste my face and everything, then I'll feel better.
Liz there.
We just had to have Liz this time, otherwise it wouldn't look good. But yeah, so we are in the top 100 universities in the world once again. Woo woo woo.
Obviously, because of the students.
Yeah, great place to be. All the volunteering schemes probably bump this up, because I know that Cardiff is one of the places that's best for student environments and students feeling welcomed, because I know so many people at the universities that are really struggling to settle in, and that is a problem we don't often have here. Obviously it can happen, and if it's happening to you, then please get involved in a volunteering something, because there is something to help you out there.
You'd be surprised by how many students get to uni and actually think that it's not for them, and
it's true.
And I think especially if you haven't lived alone before, you almost feel quite overwhelmed, and it's hard being in a new house with new people. really know each other just yet. So, you know, it could just be like the first week blues, but whatever you're feeling, there are so many different places and people to talk to and get your feelings out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Don't suffer in silence.
So let's take a little browse through Guy Reith. So Guy Reith means the free word in English. I just almost burped at the same time as talking. I do apologise. I was about to say it was not me. It was my lovely cup of tea. Sorry, I am really a nutcase this morning. But Guy Reith, yeah, the free word. So if you want to learn little dabbles and dibbles of Welsh, tomorrow we have Liam, the head of Guy Reith, or their editor-in-chief as he's officially called, giving us a few little Welsh lessons. So you might learn.
And he has his article in here.
He does, which is on the importance of the Welsh language. So we're bumping all that Welsh language stuff up because it needs to be in there. I should have said Shemai when you came on instead of hi. I do like that Shemai and hi rhyme. That really just makes me quite pleased.
We can say the when we finish.
Exactly. So you'll be learning those little bits of Welsh that we've learned in the 3 years. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit more than 2 years. 2 years than 2 words.
In 2 years.
Yeah. And yeah, so hopefully he'll be able to teach us that. I think he's going to teach us how are you. I don't know what else. I left it up to him. Yeah, maybe how to order a beer maybe or something, or a nice OJ if you're not into alcohol. Yeah, so there are all the Welsh things to learn, which is why I want a Welsh section, because I want completely Welsh coverage, because I think that's really important to maintain in Cardiff.
Yeah.
So if you go and browse through Guy Reith, you'll find Liam's article, which I don't know where it went. We found the page earlier.
We did find it.
Oh, the disorganisation. I do
No,
apologise. No, not that one.
Wait, it wasn't that far in.
Well, I'll let her browse while I discuss the Welsh language.
It's
So, oh yes, here it is.
I'm reading it upside
It's
down.
called
By the way, guys.
I'm Keen on Welsh and You Should Be Too. And I definitely agree with that.
Just a slight brief. We should be celebrating the different cultures and languages that Britain has. Let's be proud of our bilingual nation.
Definitely.
Some nice words from Liam.
Yeah, definitely. And so Liam will give us some more nice words tomorrow when he teaches us some Welsh. So with my Welsh language section, I want some bits that are teaching us Welsh so that English people aren't really ignorant to being in Wales, but at the same time we have complete Welsh coverage that is for people who are fluent in Welsh. So basically on Friday we're doing an all Welsh live stream, so none of it will be in English. I won't have a clue what's going
Liz
on.
won't be on it.
There definitely will be technical issues because I will be very confused, but it's what I want and I think it's really important, and I think you guys, if you're Welsh, will really enjoy it. So that is the main point of that, really. So if you join student media, there's just pull my headphone out. Got too excited. There's Welsh stuff, there's English stuff, there's radio, there's TV, there's news, there's magazine. All of that can go towards volunteering hours if you're on any scheme. So, for example, the Cardiff Award, which will look really good to all employers will look good to all your employers in the future.
It's great fun. I mean, we went last year, didn't we? The Cardiff Award. They were really good.
And they do like loads of
Student Media Awards.
So that's slightly different to the Cardiff Award, actually. So Cardiff Award is something that you can earn, and you go to like training sessions for it, and during that time you have to build up volunteering hours, and student media can count towards their volunteering hours. If you join student media, there's a Student Media Awards, which is also very exciting.
Yes, we had so much fun at that last year.
Right, so Holly, our SU Pres, has arrived for her interview. So we will move forward with that. However, first we will show you a little bit of halls filming again. So during this last week, we've showed you some halls clips. We've been to uni halls, we've been to Tally, and now we're going to go to St Kenneth, and you can have a little pre of that, see what you think. If you're living there, it might help you. You might find it funny. Who knows? Just have a little look.
So we are here with Cardiff Union TV at St Kenneth Court/Hall. We're just going to interview, talk to some students, some parents, see how they feel moving into this new place, and we'll just have a little look around and see what's about. My flat in the St Ghetto was that one there, second. Yeah, the St Ghetto, as it's more commonly known by the students. Obviously, not because it resembles a ghetto whatsoever, but that's just what happens when you let students give nicknames to things. So yeah, hermit, you know, just to represent the people that didn't go out very often? Oh yeah, like the bins over there. I mean, there's a car in the way, but you have an array of bins. So what is it like to be a fresher?
So far it's been great. Like, I've been meeting new people from different cultures because there are a lot of international students here as well. And fresher's been great, aside from my swollen eye.
What happened with your eye?
I went to a foam party last night, couldn't see, couldn't breathe, and then got a swollen eye from God knows who, but it was great.
It's a classic foam party story. My eye was swollen when I came for freshers last year as well, but that's because of something slightly less cool. I had a dust mite allergies.
Well, I'm still a little, dizzy because it's different town, different culture, everything. But I think I'm getting along just fine because actually when I went to the quail to get my key from my dorm and realized that everybody else was feeling just as confused as I am, I really felt better,
Oh yeah, don't worry, it's my second year and I still feel just as confused. So I've managed to ambush 2 people to interview. Would you like to share your names?
I'm Warren.
Nice to meet you, Warren. I'm Jordan.
I'm Ryan.
Nice to meet you, Ryan. So you're just moving in today. Obviously you got your suitcase. Are you excited or depressed, or what are you looking forward to?
I'm excited. We'll see.
That's a good answer. So yeah, are you excited to be away from home? Or are you a little bit daunted by the whole thing at all?
I'm really excited because I've lived in the Philippines for 18 years, so it's like this is a whole new environment, and I'm really liking this city. Like, Cardiff's a great city.
Yeah, it's a really nice, friendly city. I feel like it's got a good welcoming vibe. You feel the same way?
I really like the city because it's small, but it has everything you might need from a student city, and because it's so small you don't need a map to get around it. You can just walk and find everything you want within like 50 meters.
The bikes? Well, there's a red one there, there's a yellow one down there, and I think the other one's blue. I might be wrong. Apart from that, I know absolutely nothing other than the yellow one's a Pokestop on Pokemon Go. That's about as far as my knowledge on the bikes goes. Oh, sometimes people will hang their washing from them. One of my housemates' old flatmates used to, they weren't really accustomed to using drying racks, so they just hang all their washing from the yellow bike down over there. Alright, so amongst the plethora of students that are trying to get interviewed by us, we've come across the student advice team. Do you just want to tell us your names and what you do?
I'm Henry, and by what I do, what do you mean exactly?
I mean, what do you do? In terms of student advice, obviously.
In terms of student advice, funnily enough, we advise students. So students can come to us with any questions at all, and we can either give them a little bit of advice on what to do in that situation, or direct them to someone who can give them help.
So can I come to you with questions on how to present, or you said you give me advice?
I can probably... No, I definitely can't.
Alright, so they advise you 99.9% of the time, but... And she didn't want any questions, but do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just do what I'm told. This is my team leader, so...
A very efficient team. This is St. Genniff Court still. St. Genniff Hall's the one behind you. It's this little block of buildings. Just through that little gap in the wall there, where all your takeaways and stuff will be ordered to the gate down there.
Make the most of everything. Make the most of the Students' Union, because it's one of the best students' unions in the whole country. There's so much on offer. It's not just somewhere to go and buy VKs, although do that too. Yeah, just make the most of everything and don't be afraid to ask for help from literally anyone.
And buy lots of VKs.
Hello again. So we're back now with SU President Holly Cook.
Hello.
Yes, so this is all very exciting. If you haven't met Holly yet, she is the SU President, which means she runs everything in your Students' Union and sort of oversees it, keeps it in check and all of that. So if you are really annoyed about something, Holly is the one to go to. If you're really happy about it, then she's also the one to thank. Yeah. So Holly's great. So what policies did you set out to bring to the SU when you got voted in as SU President for this year?
Okay, so I have quite a big manifesto, so you probably don't want me to run through all of it, but I can pull out the key things. Quite a lot of them were kind of outward looking, so in terms of university rather than specifically Students' Union stuff. So one was around trying to get more sports investment and try and convince the university that obviously sport is really, really important. They should be investing in our facilities. So I'm working quite heavily with Tom, who's our AU president, to bring that about. Yeah. I also, I was VP Welfare last year, so that's what Nick is now, and I spent quite a lot of the time looking at like how the mental health system works. So one of my main priorities is trying to improve the journey towards getting mental health support and making sure that everybody is fully supported and they're getting the support that they need.
Oh, that's really good. We were just saying at student volunteering fair downstairs, there's literally so much to get involved with, especially mental health support wise.
Exactly.
Which is really great.
And we're finding that so many more people are talking about mental health, which is a really good thing. Like
really important.
Just from the fact that we've got a new mental health part-time officer.
Which is George Watkins.
Yeah, and he's amazing.
Who's also part of Gary.
So he's big in student media if you want to get involved with that. He has an article in the new issue as well of Guy Reith, so check that out.
But just the fact that students voted in the AGM to create a mental health part-time officer shows that students are really
conscious of it.
Really conscious.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
Definitely.
And I know that because I've used the counselling service in student support here, and like they felt that I needed more sessions, and so they extended it from what they normally allow, which is like really, really good, because I know a lot of universities say like we can't actually cover you on that. So like they do try and help you, and they won't just leave you to flounder.
Exactly. And my message as a past VP Welfare is, if you need help, just go and ask for it, because it is there.
Definitely.
And look after each other.
And I think that's kind of what, it sounds so silly, but I think students now almost struggle with kind of being able to come to another student and just kind of ask for help. I think that
which is why the buddy schemes is so good as well, isn't it, really?
Definitely. And they're hoping to extend mentoring to all schools next year, so hopefully
really
that'll
good.
create even greater support for students.
But
my message is like, just go and like knock on your flatmates' doors if they haven't come out for a day or two, you haven't seen them. Just be that person that's there for other people. Like, you can make a real difference if you do. So
I had a really good housemate in first year actually, and she was like, if I was ill, because I was at uni halls, you know, it's a little bit far from the shops and things. It's so good actually. I feel like people complain about it first, and then you realise that it's actually the best one. But because it's a little bit far from the shop, she went and like did my shopping for me while I was ill, and like made sure I got food and stuff. So if like you get close to your housemates, it is really important, and that you're there to help out your other housemates, I think, because it just provides that family environment that you still really need, don't you?
Definitely.
So
another one of my priorities is around trying to get a student-focused freshers. So I want to run a competition later this semester for students to put forward their idea for a night during freshers.
Oh, that's cool.
And pull them in and get them to actually plan it and run it.
That's good. So kind of like promote a business sort of angle, so it's experience but also really fun.
And it also gives students the opportunity to vote on the best idea, which means come freshers the year after, they'll get to see this.
They'll have really cool. Yeah, that's so cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, that sounds really, really good.
So if any of you have any ideas, like, start thinking about them and watch out. At the end of this semester, we'll be running the competitions. So.
There's quite a few competitions that run from the union as well, aren't there, that people can get involved in?
We've actually just opened nominations for our by-elections this morning.
Fab,
so
that's exciting.
Anybody wants to be a senator or on scrutiny, or would like to be a campaign officer, we've got 6 vacancies for our campaign officers at the moment. Just drop me a message and I can answer any questions that you might have.
Fab. So we went through the campaign officers that are positions that are available yesterday, and I was saying that women's has been like very on and off for quite a long time, so there is a big call in for that. I feel.
Yes, I agree. If anybody is passionate about women's rights, please do run. Is it like, I don't really understand, but 2 years ago it was a really contentious competition, so for the role, so I would really encourage people to come forward
for that. And there's space for LGBT officers as well, aren't there?
Yeah, we need two LGBT, ethical environmental officer, a mature officer, and now I'm missing other ones. What else am I missing? Which is not good, is it?
Well, and there's other ones, so just go and have a look. That's really good.
Have a look on the website; they're all there.
Something that I just thought about actually last year when we interviewed our SU pres, which was I can't remember her name, Sophie Timbers. She talked about how there's the Binfo app. to check your bins in the area, which is really good for second and third years, so that you know what nights you're putting your bins out, and it will give you a reminder, which is really cool. And there was a scheme for students to help clear up litter in the area. Is that still running now?
Yeah, so we are doing another, it's called Clean Up CUTVs. We're doing it in October.
That definitely needs,
yes.
it needs all the helping.
Yeah.
I lived there last year.
It is happening in the second week of October, so if anyone wants to come out and show that actually we should be proud of CUTVs and we should be keeping it tidy, please do come along. Again, all the information's on the website. We're also running a bit more of a wider waste campaign this year to try and teach students around what goes out on what days, because it's actually, to be fair, quite confusing when you're on one street and you've got your red and white
You see people putting their bins out and you think, should I put them out? And it's like, no, it's not our day.
I also get confused by the app says like collection is Wednesday, but it means you put it out on Tuesday night and it's on Wednesday morning, but I always get really baffed and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
We used to never get it right, and we'd end up just piling our bin bags and trying to get them all in and sort it all out.
Yeah, it can be a massive pain. Last year I had a house that I just ended up piled up in the kitchen and it was like leaking everywhere. It was disgusting. This year, thankfully, our house is a little bit more fancy, so we've got like this bin store outside, so I'm like, this is very nice.
But no, I mean, CUTVs is such a good area, and it's so good for student life that we should be trying to keep it more clean, because there are obviously other people that aren't students living there.
Definitely, and we don't want to be labelled as stereotypical students
exactly.
Look after their community.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to clock who your neighbours are as well in that case, because like I've moved into a house, you've got like a little girl living next door even. She must be about like 6 or 7, and so like you have to remember that if you're going to host a party, it can't be that often, and you can't be too loud, like crazy loud. If you're going to be loud, make sure it's just music, not anything too rude. Like, I mean, I'd rather have like a low-key party and go out somewhere and not destroy a 6-year-old's growing up.
Just be around your house and like your friends instead.
Yeah, exactly. So just be conscious of who's about where you're living, because we don't want to annoy our neighbours as students, because we can get bad labels if we don't try and work against them. So there's the Centre for Student Life being built, which will mean the steps of the front get demolished and something goes up, and I'm not really sure much about it. I just know it's happening. So could you talk about what is going to happen with that?
Okay, so they are planning to knock down our steps at some point next semester. So we get to keep them for a while, which is good. And the whole idea of Centre for Student Life is it's going to put all of the student support services within it, and trying to kind of champion the fact that student life is around also being supported.
So that's another part of your mental health sort of promotion.
Which is really exciting. It's going to look amazing. It's all glass and really pretty, and I've been quite heavily involved in the planning for it, which is quite exciting. And so pretty much everything that's in student support is going to go in this brand new building, which will help with all of their support services, because at the moment they don't have enough space to be able to do everything that they need to do. The plan is for it to be open academic year 2019-2020. So it's in a few years' time.
But you guys might still be around if you're freshers now.
Of this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be old uns when it comes about.
But they're going to try and keep the disruption minimal. There'll be a different entrance for the Students' Union. But as I say, you won't see any of that until next semester. So it shouldn't cause too much disruption.
Exciting to look forward to though as well.
And speaking of freshers though, do you have any kind of advice for them? Because obviously you being SU president now, like you've done all your years and you know all the ropes.
So I'd say my biggest message is just get involved. Like I've always, you guys probably know this as well, because you're super involved, but I always found like...
bit too much maybe.
Stress levels.
But the best thing that I always found was that you'd have your housemates, it was like your family, and then you'd have your course friends, and then you'd have your society friends, and then whatever else you were getting involved in. And actually, like, my message is that everybody coming to university normally are here to meet people, and everybody's keen to get to know people, and so just be that person that breaks down the barrier in terms of talking to people, because they've probably got the same thing going through their head, and just just meet as many people as you possibly can and get involved in as much, selectively. I don't want you to get involved in everything, because then your degree will suffer. But try out the Give It a Go events, see what you enjoy.
Give It a Go is really, really cool for just testing the water in loads of different things.
Yeah, so it's a try before you buy.
Cave one in first year.
Oh, that's exciting. I don't think I branched out that much. I was like, I want to do dance, let me just try the different styles. But yeah, there are some mad ones you can do. I think there's like water sports, and you can go all over the shop, can't you, really?
I had a housemate that literally, I think she tried out nearly every single one of them.
That's
it's
amazing.
crazy.
Oh, wow.
That's the whole point. Like,
yeah.
And again, just by doing that, you meet lots of people as well.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, like, university is a bit of a roller coaster. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, you will have absolutely amazing times, but also like you'll have those low times because of exams or homesickness, and homesickness is a very normal thing.
Yeah,
think
definitely.
That you're by yourself in a few weeks' time when you're thinking, oh God, I didn't think I was going to be homesick, and now I am. It is normal, but just keep the channels of communication going. Talk to your new friends, and talk to home. And just bear with it, and just support each other, and enjoy the highs, but also enjoy the lows together. That's my message.
Yeah, definitely. I think in first year I didn't get very homesick at all. I was on a bit of a wild one, like, let me go here, let me go there, this is that, just like joining in everything, really enjoying my life. And then I just have a crash day. I was like, I'm not turning up today, go to sleep. It was a bit of a wild year. And then this year I've got to it. I think because there's so much workload, I've started feeling like, oh, I really want my mum a bit more, which I didn't really get before. And it's a bit weird having it that way round, because I always thought as a fresh year it makes sense, you've only just moved. But I think for any third years or second years watching him, we're getting that feeling like the pressure does build, and you do miss that comfort of home.
Kind of starts to come up and everything happens, and it gets the winter months. Nobody's happy when it gets dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Grey.
Unfortunately, Cardiff, it does rain a lot.
Yeah.
Although everyone says this, but I come from near Birmingham, and back home it's like proper grey most of the time.
Yeah,
like I love it, but like it's not the nicest weather. And I come to Cardiff and it'll be alright, and it'll be like winter here, and I'll be in like maybe a jacket with a jumper, not feeling too bad. I'll get on the train home. Okay, yeah, but still. I get on the train home, and it gets about 2 stops from where I'm like live, and like you can feel the cold come through the train, and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd bought a bigger coat. And then I come back the other way, and I'm like really sweaty when I get to Cardiff because I've got so many layers on. So.
Oh my gosh, I find that, you know, if you've been outside in the cold and you get into the building, so like the JP building and things like that.
Oh, and it's boiling, and you're running.
You've got a coat on, it's been raining, you get in there and it's just like sweat.
And then you can't take the jumper off because the top underneath sweat through. Oh, it's a disaster.
Into your cellar, like
you've been running and you don't have time to take off your layers while you're running.
Yeah,
I get that.
The winter is not the funnest time, really, is it? So, looking at Guy Reith once again, in their new edition, which you can take a browse of, they'll be laid around the Students' Union. So, there's little like, I don't know what they're called, those little units.
Yeah.
Like there's little like blue units around, and they'll have them stacked inside, so you can just take one. They're free, so go for it. But in here, you've been interviewed with some like fun questions, and one of them which I found quite funny: what age do you wish you could permanently be? You said 21. Well, I'm just coming up to my 21st, and I keep saying I don't want to be 21 because I feel like as soon as I'm 21, the next big birthday is 30, and then once you're 21, you're basically 30. So I that is true.
If you're stuck at 21, that's great, because you can go to America and do all that kind of stuff. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I feel that's the real adult level.
Yeah, and then you just stop.
Yes, that would be my plan. I loved being 21. I just think everything was happening. I was comfortable at university. I was having a great time with all my friends. I would do all of it apart from the exams again.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that a lot as well. I saw that songs you've completely memorised. You're a big Coldplay fan.
Yes, I am indeed. Don't get me to sing though, I'm not good.
I won't put you under that pressure.
My favourite one, and I'm going to mention it, is the fact that the place you'd live would be the Shire. Yes. I love that.
It's just so pretty. Why wouldn't you want to live there? Yeah,
it's gorgeous. Isn't there somewhere where you can actually visit?
Yeah.
Like
I think New Zealand, they have like the actual thing. So maybe one day I'll have to.
Oh, you have to go and have a dabble in there.
Film nights here.
Yes,
so
there are Give It a Go film nights. Yeah.
Every week.
And if you join CUTV, we'll be doing our project filming like a screening night. That'll be towards Christmas, and we have all our socials at the beer cellar, so that'll be in there. So
the jugs of beer. Yeah.
while you watch our projects, you probably need them, to be honest. But so that there's lots of film stuff to look forward to, I think, and then Film Sock as well. They do really, really cool projects. So there's lots of different types of filming you can get involved in the union. So just take a browse, and as you say, get involved in everything. So to finish off this interview, we on a couple of our other interviews with VPs have played Shag, Marry, Kill or Avoid, and selecting different VPs. So take your pick. Who would you shag? Who would you marry, kill or avoid amongst the VPs?
Oh God, that's awful.
I mean, I didn't pick it originally, but then I liked it. So.
Well, marry would have to be Nick, because I live with Nick.
That makes sense.
We're already a bit of a married couple.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Good interrelations among the officers.
Kill. I'd probably go for Tom, because for some reason, whenever we're drunk, we end up like fighting, but not properly fighting. But like drunken fighting. You know what I mean? In good humour. So
not too much ag.
And shag, I don't know.
And avoid. We've got 2 more.
Oh God. See the avoid.
Yeah, I forgot to write that one down, but I remembered it as I was saying it.
Okay, avoid.
She's crafty like that.
Probably me, but I'm not a VP, so.
Probably this question.
Yeah, avoid this question. I'd say I would potentially avoid Jake sometimes, because he does this thing where he asks me a question, he goes, Holly, and I'm like, okay, now you've got a question, what am I going to say?
Yeah, it's the tone, isn't it? I always say well, and every time I say well, it's never a good thing after.
You know something bad's happening.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those, like, people don't realise they do it.
Yeah.
It's just, you know that something's coming afterwards, you're like, okay, what now? And shag, I don't know. I don't know, Lamorna or Kirsty.
Oh, how lovely.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Well,
I love them all, okay? So,
yeah, it's not serious. It's all in good heart.
humour,
Yeah, I was going to say good-heartedness, and I was like, that's not a word. I'm not a literature student. Oh dear, it's a long morning. Right, so thank you very much for coming in. It's been really nice to have you. So we're gonna run to our Soonfest, one of our Soonfest videos. So we've shown you a few Soonfest videos so far. So this is a session that we did with Jordan McCamper, who's really, really cool. He's like got sort of soul elements in his music, but I know that he originated from the Congo, and he's used a lot of elements from there in his music as well, which is really cool. So we're going to run to that, and then we'll chat a bit about volunteering that relates to music, and we'll play a cheeky game of Heads Up, I think, and that will end our show. So yeah, tune back in.
Thanks for coming on.
That's okay, thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Eleanor.
And I'm Richard.
We're here reporting for Cardiff Student Media, and we're at Soon Festival 2016. It's its 10th anniversary, and we're so excited to see all the bands playing.
Plant a seed, we'll watch it grow. Paper hearts weren't meant to fold. As autumn leaves have turned to gold, we'll tread a path side by side and form a link through our hands. Oh, I am yours and you are mine. I'll write your name on the bottom of my shoes, just so you know that I'm yours to keep. I'll write your name on the bottom of my shoes, just so you know that I'm yours to keep. 'Cause I am yours and you are mine. Form a link through our hands. 'Cause I am yours and you are mine. Mine, oh mine. I'll write your name on the bottom of my shoes, just so you know that I'm yours to keep. I'll write your name on the bottom of my shoes, just so you know that I won't let you down. I'll write your name on the bottom of my shoes, just so you know that I'm yours to keep.
And we are back with the last few minutes of the show.
Yeah.
So we've just had Holly Cook, our SU Prez. We hope you enjoyed seeing her.
Switch sides.
Oh yeah, sorry. We decided we're a bit too squished. We decided to change the camera angle, and then we forgot about it because we were trying to get some footage. No, not footage. What am I on about? Social media out, because as I've said before, I'm running a little bit low on execs. So if you want to be an exec on Cardiff Union TV, then please apply when I reopen applications. Come and talk to us at the volunteering fair today, or at the societies fair on Wednesday, or come up to floor 3 of the SU and we'll be up here pretty much every day at the moment, so you can come and have a chat. So you've just watched a little clip of Soon Festival with Jordan, my camper.
I liked it.
So Soon Festival happens every year. Normally it's like a few days at a weekend, but now they've spread it out across a couple of months, so it's already running now, and so there's really cool gigs around Cardiff, so you like go and browse all the gigs that are about. I know Peace are playing soon, who are like one of my favourite bands, and I really want to go and see them, so if you want to come with me, then please let me know. Put that out there. There's loads of really, really cool bands, and then they have like bumper days, and I can't remember the names of them, which is really terrible, but we'll be filming one of them, which will be cool. And there's bands like Island, who I think are a really cool band. I don't know if you've heard of them before, but we did a session with them last year as well, which I think we've played earlier this week. Yeah, so there's lots of cool sessions from Soonfest at Volunteering Fair downstairs.
Yes.
There is actually a festivals organisation that you can volunteer with, who basically just like promote loads of festival-y stuff, so you can go downstairs and have a look at what they do. I went to Wireless this summer. I don't know what festivals you've been to.
I went to V-Fest last summer. That was an experience. I loved the music, I loved the whole atmosphere. Hated the toilets.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely hated it. I've been camping and there've been better toilets there.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at Wireless even during the daytime, and I didn't stay over.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really enjoy that, I'm not gonna lie. But if that's your vibe, then
I'd say if you're staying over there, learn to like not go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Just trying to climb over loads of different tents and loads of different bodies. It's just like
not
crazy.
Enjoyable. Yeah,
but
so
it's a good laugh and it's a good thing to do with friends.
Just to finish off, I think then, the end of our show, we'll play our game of Heads Up. Rach, could I get your passcode, please? If you... Oh, wait, do you want to say it on air or no? 10. Yes. 65. Yes.
23. Nobody steal Rachel's.
Fabulous, yeah, nobody take it. So, we're now on a games of Heads Up, just like we were the other day, which is really, really fun. So, I think we play Act It Out. I think that's the best one. Would you like me to put it on my head first? You act it out and we'll switch round? Yeah?
Should it be
Is that what we're up for?
Yeah, I'll put this down.
Wait, you need to talk into the mic for it.
Oh, okay. Wait, I thought I had to
And act it out. Go for it. Seeing binoculars.
Yeah! Oh, you're all good at that. What happens now? Oh.
A baby. Greeting people. The Queen.
Think about you last year.
Me last year.
When you were a queen.
Awards. Ceremony. Winner.
You guys can't see the screen. This is really frustrating.
Yeah, I did.
You were close, really close.
I don't know.
Compare, like all the three of those
Winner,
together.
Awards.
What would you be doing?
Receiving an award.
So close.
I don't know. We might have to pass it to get onto a different one. Receive something. Wait, it's going to run out of time.
But not that.
But
what did you say? You said
I don't
what
know.
Did you do an award?
I don't know. I got one.
Winning
In that whole time, we got one. Winning an award. Well, that was just terrible. Well, as we can tell, I'm terrible at this. Let's play again.
Let's see if I can get it. It might not just be you. Can we bear with that? I've never
So
played this
here you
before.
go.
Ready?
You just click play and then put it on your head. Oh, it's upside down. Oh, it says get ready. Okay.
Blowing something? A dandelion? No. It flies away like a dandelion. It's tiny. It's a circle. It's a circle. Okay. A lollipop. You blow it.
Through the circle.
Oh, bubbles.
Yep.
Bubbles. Oh.
Skip this one to up.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. We just take that point. Skip this one. I don't know.
Body lotion. Oh,
Kind
spray.
of
Sun cream.
like- yeah, there you go. Skip. Skip.
What noises? Sleep. Drunk. Passed out. Tell us
It was poison. I was dead, but I suppose that's close to drunkenness, maybe. Look at the list. It's done. The game's over. But that was a better round than previously. I don't really get who wins, whether it's you or me. I've never worked that out from that game. We both win.
Great at that.
Or we both lose. It's a win-win, lose-lose situation. We're all winners and we're all losers, guys. And that is the note we will end this live stream on. Thank you for watching with us. We're from CUTV. I'm Liz.
I'm Amisha.
And we will be back tomorrow with day 6, which is AU Sports Fair. So tune in for that.